What happens when the things we accept from others carry hidden energies? Have you ever felt uneasy after bringing something new into your home, but couldn't quite put your finger on why? In today's video, we'll dive into 7 things you should never receive from anyone, inspired by Buddhist thought, to help you protect your peace and well-being. If you've ever struggled with unexplained negativity or bad luck, this could be the key to understanding why. Stay tuned to learn how to safeguard your space and invite only positive energy into your life. Imagine this: you're sitting on your cozy couch, sipping your favorite drink, when a good friend leans in and says, "Hey, I've got something important to share. There are 7 things you should never, ever take from someone else." You raise an eyebrow, curious, and they continue, "It might sound a bit strange, but trust me, everything around us has its own energy, and sometimes that energy can stick to you like glue." Your friend's words make you think. You've probably heard sayings like, "You are what you eat," or "choose your friends wisely," right? Well, this is a bit like that, but with the objects we bring into our lives. It's not just about physical stuff, it's about the invisible energy they carry. You see, when you focus on something, you're not just noticing it, you're kind of connecting with it, just like Emily Maruchin talks about in her books. That connection can be powerful, for better or worse. In today's chat, we're going to dive into these 7 things and uncover why they matter so much. Some of the items on this list might surprise you, but by the end, you'll understand why being mindful of the things you accept from others can protect your happiness and even your success. And don't worry, we'll keep things simple and easy to follow. Before we jump into the details, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. Trust me, this wisdom is worth spreading because it can help everyone create a better, more positive world. So, are you ready to start this journey of discovery? Let's dive in. Let's continue the video. But before we do, check if you are subscribed to the channel, because the upcoming videos will guide you toward a better life. Number 1, how does the energy from objects affect us? Picture energy like an invisible, magical force that surrounds everything. It's kind of like the feeling you get when you walk into a room that's just been cleaned versus one that's cluttered and messy. The difference is so obvious that it can change your mood instantly, right? That's the power of energy at work. It's not just in the air, it's in the objects around us too. Think about this. Would you want to share your toothbrush with someone else? Of course not. Yuck! Just like you wouldn't want to share germs, you also need to be careful with objects that might carry someone else's energy. Different cultures around the world have understood this for a long time. In Buddhism, for example, it's believed that objects can absorb the energy of the people who use them. So, if you bring something into your life that has bad vibes attached to it, you might start feeling down or stressed without even knowing why. Imagine walking into a messy room. Everything is chaotic and it's hard to focus. Now think about stepping into a clean, tidy space filled with things you love. The energy is completely different, isn't it? That's why it's so important to pay attention to what you allow into your space. Surrounding yourself with positive energy can make you feel happier, calmer, and more at peace. Number 2, 7 things you should never receive from anyone. Now that you've got a grasp on how energy works, let's talk about those 7 things you should think twice about accepting from others. First on the list is something you probably wouldn't expect: salt. Yes, good old salt. It's not just something you sprinkle on your food. It has a long history of being used in rituals to protect and cleanse spaces because it can absorb energy. But here's the thing: when you accept salt from someone else, you might also be taking on their worries, fears, or bad vibes without even realizing it. It's like borrowing someone's clothes that have been through rough times. You wouldn't feel comfortable in them, right? The same goes for salt and other objects that can carry energy. So, it's usually better to stick to your own salt, keeping your energy clean and clear. This idea isn't just about superstition. It's kind of like being careful about what you eat to stay healthy. Just as you wouldn't eat something questionable, you should also be mindful of the energy you allow into your life to keep your spirit and emotions in good shape. Remember what the Buddha wisely said: health is the greatest gift. Contentment, the greatest wealth. By paying attention to the energy around us, we can live happier, healthier lives. Imagine you're sitting around a warm, crackling fire with friends, the night sky twinkling above you. One friend leans in, eyes serious but kind, and says, "You know, there's something really important we should talk about. The power of faithfulness and how it ties into creating a positive and peaceful environment around us." You're intrigued. It sounds simple, right? But as your friend continues, you realize this idea is deeply connected to your overall well-being. "Let's start with something basic," they say, holding up a small jar of salt. Salt might seem like just another item in your kitchen, but it's so much more than that. Salt has been used for thousands of years in spiritual practices because of its incredible power. Ancient Egyptians used it in their rituals, and people practicing Wicca today still rely on it for its cleansing and protective properties. You nod, thinking about how you've seen salt sprinkled around houses or even tossed over shoulders. But why is salt so powerful? Your friend explains, "Salt is special because it can absorb and neutralize energy, making it excellent for keeping your space pure and positive. Remember what Albert Einstein said, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another." This idea perfectly matches how salt works. When it absorbs energy, it changes the energy around us, which can affect how we feel and act. Now your friend's expression turns a bit more serious. But here's the thing, they continue. Imagine you accept salt from someone else. By doing that, you might also be accepting their energy, their worries, stresses, or even their bad luck. This energy can mix with your own and throw off your spiritual balance. So, being careful about where your salt comes from isn't just an old superstition. It's a smart way to protect your spiritual health. You think about how fast-paced and busy life can be, with all sorts of energies swirling around you. It makes sense to take steps to keep yourself balanced. Just like we eat healthy food to take care of our bodies, your friend says, we need to be mindful of the energies we let into our lives. By being careful about accepting salt from others, you're taking a positive step toward protecting your inner peace and well-being, making sure your personal space stays a place of good, happy energy. The fire crackles as you soak in this new understanding, but your friend isn't done yet. Now let's talk about something else that might surprise you: wallets and purses. At first, this sounds odd. Wallets and purses are just things you carry your money and cards in, right? But your friend smiles knowingly. These everyday items hold a lot more than just your cash. They carry the financial energy of the person who owned them before you. So, if you accept a used wallet or purse, you might also be taking on the financial problems, struggles, and even bad luck of the previous owner. Your mind flashes to that old purse you bought at a thrift store a few months ago. In many cultures, your friend explains, it's believed that the objects we use every day can carry and pass on energy. There's even a saying in Buddhism, energy flows where attention goes, which means that the objects we focus on can affect our lives in big ways. So even though it might seem like no big deal to use a second-hand wallet or purse, it can actually bring financial instability into your life. You start to wonder if your recent financial struggles are just a coincidence or something more. To keep your finances in good shape, your friend advises, it's a good idea to avoid using used wallets and purses, but if you do end up with one, make sure to cleanse it spiritually, maybe with sage or by setting positive intentions to clear out any leftover bad vibes. You're beginning to see the connection between energy and everyday objects in a whole new light. But your friend isn't finished. There's one more important thing to talk about: mirrors. You glance at the mirror by your front door. It's an old one, passed down through the family. Mirrors are everywhere, your friend says, and we use them all the time. But did you know that mirrors can hold a lot of energy too? They're not just tools for checking your reflection. They can absorb and reflect the energy around them. If you bring a used mirror into your home, it might still be holding onto the energy from its previous environment, which can affect your own space. You remember hearing stories about mirrors in old tales, how they can be gateways to other worlds, or how they can show things beyond the physical. A new mirror is usually safe, your friend reassures you, but a used one could carry the energy of the person who owned it before. This is why it's important to be careful when bringing used mirrors into your home. The energy they hold could disturb the peace and balance in your space. You ask what you can do if you have a used mirror. Good question, your friend replies. If you do bring a used mirror into your home, it's a good idea to cleanse it first. You can do this by burning sage, using holy water, or saying a special prayer to clear away any negative energy. By taking these steps, you can make sure your home stays full of positive, peaceful energy. As the night draws in, you reflect on everything you've learned. Your friend's words have opened your eyes to a deeper understanding of the world around you. In conclusion, your friend says softly, always be mindful of the objects you allow into your life, especially things like salt, wallets, purses, and mirrors. Recognize that they might carry energy from their past that can impact your well-being. By taking care to cleanse these items and keeping your space filled with positive energy, you protect your spiritual health and create a peaceful, balanced environment. With a warm smile, your friend adds, and remember, it's the small steps we take every day that shape our lives in the biggest ways. Protect your energy, and you'll protect your happiness. Have you come across this topic before? Share in the comments if you've gone through it yourself or know someone who has. I'll be there to help you out in the comments. Imagine yourself sitting down with a cup of tea, chatting with a close friend who begins to share some fascinating stories about how everyday objects can carry energy, sometimes good, sometimes bad, and why it's important to be careful with what we accept from others. The conversation starts with something we don't often think about. Locks. Locks. Your friend leans in, lowering their voice like they're about to tell you a secret. You know, locks are more than just things that keep your stuff safe. In some spiritual practices, they're used to control people's destinies or even block their success. Imagine if someone gave you a lock that had been used in a ritual to stop someone's luck. By accepting it, you might accidentally bring those bad vibes into your own life. You picture a rusty old lock in your hand, and the thought sends a shiver down your spine. Your friend continues, every time you use a lock, it should represent your own wishes and energy, not someone else's. This is especially true in love rituals, like when couples attach locks to bridges and toss the keys into the river to symbolize unbreakable love. But if someone with bad intentions messes with those locks, it could cause problems in the future relationships of the people who put them there. The image of a couple tossing a key into a river is romantic, but now you wonder, what if that lock held someone else's bad energy? So, your friend advises, when someone gives you a lock, think twice. Are you sure you want to take on their energy or desires? Today, locks are everywhere, on doors, diaries, phones. They're supposed to protect us, but your friend reminds you of a wise saying, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. It's a reminder that just as we're careful about our thoughts, we should also be careful about the things we accept and the intentions behind them. By being mindful, we can keep control over our lives and stay true to ourselves. Used mattresses. As the conversation flows, your friend brings up another seemingly mundane object, mattresses. Let's talk about your mattress, they say. It's not just a piece of furniture. It's where you spend a lot of time sleeping, dreaming, and recharging. Your mattress soaks up all that energy. So, when you sleep on someone else's mattress, you're also lying in their energy, which can really mess with your sleep and peace of mind. You think about the bed you sleep in every night. It's your sanctuary, but what if it wasn't always yours? Your friend paints a vivid picture. Mattresses hold more than just your body weight. They absorb emotions, dreams, and even the worries of anyone who's ever slept on them. Imagine it like sharing your bed with strangers every night. This can make you feel restless or uneasy, especially in places like hotels, where countless people have slept on the same mattress. Ever notice feeling weird after a night in a hotel? It might be because the mattress has absorbed all kinds of different energies from previous guests. The thought is unsettling, but it's not just about energy, it's also about health. Used mattresses can be full of dust mites, bacteria, and allergens that can make you sick, your friend adds. Sleeping on an old mattress can lead to allergies, breathing problems, or skin issues. That's why it's a good idea to get a new mattress whenever you can. A new mattress isn't just comfy, it's also clean and full of only your energy, helping you sleep better and stay healthy. You nod, mentally making a note to reconsider that old mattress you've been using. It's not just about comfort, it's about ensuring your space remains a haven of positive energy. Objects related to the deceased. The conversation takes a more somber turn as your friend brings up items connected to someone who has passed away. Let's think about the things we keep from loved ones who have passed on, they say. These could be photos, jewelry, or other keepsakes. While these items can be comforting and remind us of the people we loved, they can also carry the energy of the person who owned them. And sometimes this energy might not be as positive as we'd hope. They tell you a story about a man who inherited his grandfather's watch. He wore it every day, feeling close to his grandfather. But over time, he started noticing a string of bad luck that seemed to follow him everywhere. After talking to a spiritual advisor, your friend explains, he learned that the watch carried unresolved energy from his grandfather's life, which was affecting his own. When he stopped wearing the watch, he felt lighter and more positive. The story hits close to home. You've kept a few things from loved ones who've passed, and now you wonder if those objects could be influencing your life in ways you hadn't considered. Your friend brings up a profound quote from Buddha. Attachment leads to suffering. They explain, this idea can apply to how we hold on to objects from loved ones who have passed away. While it's natural to want to keep these items, we need to think about whether they bring us joy or hold us back. Sometimes, letting go of these objects can help us move forward and live in the present. But your friend doesn't just leave it there. They offer a solution. If you have something from a loved one that feels heavy or sad, it might help to transform it into something new. For example, one woman turned her mother's wedding ring into a new piece of jewelry that she could wear every day with happiness. This way, she honored her mother's memory while bringing new, positive energy into her life. They close with a quote from the Dalai Lama. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. To achieve this, they suggest, we need to be willing to let go of things that no longer serve us, including items from the past. This helps create a home full of positive energy that supports your happiness and well-being. As the conversation winds down, you realize just how much the objects in your life can affect your energy, your happiness, and your overall sense of peace. Your friend's stories have given you a new perspective on the things you keep close to you. They finish with a gentle reminder. Always think carefully about the objects you bring into your life, especially those with strong connections to others. By being mindful of the energy they carry, you can protect your own happiness and peace, ensuring that your space is full of positivity and free from any negative influences. You leave the conversation feeling empowered, ready to take control of the energy in your life, and more mindful of the objects you surround yourself with. Imagine a sunny afternoon where you're sorting through a closet filled with items you no longer use. As you hold up an old vase, a worn-out sweater, or a forgotten trinket, a thought crosses your mind. Maybe someone else could use this. It's not just about clearing out space, it's about giving new life to something that might still hold value. This moment of reflection taps into a deeper idea, one that echoes ancient wisdom and Buddhist teachings. Everything changes and nothing stays the same forever. By being mindful of the energy around us and making sure it's positive, we can create a happy and peaceful space for ourselves. This approach not only honors the memory of the past, but also enhances our present lives. Giving new life to old things. Let's start with the idea of repurposing or donating things we no longer need. Have you ever taken a well-loved but unused item and transformed it into something new and exciting? Maybe you turned an old scarf into a decorative pillow or donated books that once sat on a dusty shelf to a local library. These acts of giving or creating aren't just practical. They're deeply connected to the concept of energy flow. By releasing objects from our lives, we allow space for new, positive energy to enter. We're almost at the end, but before we wrap up, I noticed you haven't liked this video yet. Giving it a thumbs up is really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you our content so we can continue to support you. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free. Imagine this. A woman finds an old chair at a flea market. It's a bit worn, but she sees potential. She takes it home, sands it down, and repaints it in a vibrant color. Now, the chair isn't just a piece of furniture. It's a symbol of transformation, filled with the creative and joyful energy she put into it. This is much like what Buddhists believe, that everything is in a constant state of change, and by embracing this, we can foster an environment that promotes peace and happiness. When we repurpose or donate old items, we also create a positive ripple effect. The person who receives your donated clothes might be someone who really needs them, bringing a bit of warmth and comfort into their life, and in doing so, you've passed along not just an item, but the good energy that comes with the act of giving. 7. Found objects. Now, let's talk about those unexpected treasures we sometimes stumble upon. Imagine you're walking through a park and spot something shiny glinting in the grass. You bend down to pick it up, discovering it's a beautiful piece of jewelry. It feels like you've found a hidden treasure, and your first instinct might be to keep it. But as you turn the object over in your hands, a thought flickers in your mind. What if this item carries the energy of its previous owner? Finding something unexpectedly can be exciting, but it's important to consider the origins of that object. Let's say that necklace belonged to someone who experienced a lot of sadness or hardship. The item might still carry those emotions, and by bringing it into your home, you could unknowingly invite that same energy into your life. A similar story might involve finding a wallet full of cash on the street. It seems like a stroke of luck, but there's a catch. Someone else lost that money, and they might be in a difficult situation because of it. Keeping the money could mean you're also taking on the stress or bad luck of the person who lost it. In this way, it's not just about material gain, it's about the energy exchange that happens when you take possession of something that isn't rightfully yours. This concept ties into the Buddhist principle of karma, the idea that our actions, whether good or bad, come back to us in some way. If you keep something that doesn't belong to you, especially if it's valuable, it might bring bad karma. It's like inviting trouble into your life just because something looked nice or felt lucky in the moment. Moreover, owning something that isn't truly yours can create an underlying sense of unease, even if you don't notice it right away. This unease can manifest as stress, worry, or even bad luck in other areas of your life. That's why it's so important to be mindful of the things you choose to keep, making sure they bring good energy into your space. How to cleanse negative energy from objects. Sometimes the objects we already own or the ones we find might carry negative energy, especially if they've been through tough situations. It's important to cleanse these objects to maintain a peaceful and positive space. Here are some simple yet powerful methods to do that. Smudging. This ancient practice involves burning sage or other sacred herbs and letting the smoke envelop the object. As the smoke rises, imagine it carrying away all the negative energy, leaving the object refreshed and clean. This ritual not only cleanses the object, but also fills the space with a soothing scent and calming energy. Water. Water is another natural purifier. Running an object under tap water or soaking it in a bowl while visualizing the negativity being washed away can be very effective. For an added boost, sprinkle a bit of salt into the water, as salt is known for its cleansing properties. If the object is delicate, gently wipe it down with a cloth dipped in salty water instead. Sunlight and moonlight. The sun's powerful rays can cleanse and energize objects. Leaving an item in direct sunlight for a few hours can clear away any lingering bad vibes. However, if the object is sensitive to light or heat, moonlight is a gentle alternative. Placing the object under the moon's glow, especially during a full moon, can infuse it with soft, positive energy. Sound. Sound vibrations can also break up negative energy. Using a singing bowl, tuning fork, or even clapping your hands around the object can disperse the bad vibes. The sound waves shake up stagnant energy, allowing fresh, positive energy to take its place. Visualization and intention. Sometimes the most powerful tool is your mind. Simply imagining the object surrounded by a bright white light can cleanse it. Focus on the light pushing away all negativity, leaving the object filled with good vibes. This method is a testament to the power of thought and intention in shaping our reality. By regularly using these techniques, you can ensure that the objects in your life are filled with positive energy, contributing to a happier and more peaceful environment. How our thoughts can shape the world. Let's delve a little deeper into the idea that our thoughts and feelings can actually influence the world around us. It might sound like magic, but there's truth to it. When we focus on positive thoughts and act with good intentions, we create an environment that reflects that positivity. This is why it's so important to keep our surroundings, including the objects we own, clean and full of good energy. Imagine walking into a room where you've just cleansed everything. The air feels lighter, the space feels more open, and you can almost sense the positive energy flowing around you. This is the power of intention at work. By regularly clearing away negative energy from your belongings, you help ensure that your space remains a sanctuary of peace and positivity. This idea isn't just rooted in ancient wisdom. Modern science also recognizes the impact of our environment on our mental and emotional well-being. By being mindful of the energy we allow into our lives, we create a space that supports our happiness and health. Wrapping things up. As we wrap up this journey, let's revisit the 7 things you should be careful about accepting from others. Through these stories and examples, we've explored how the objects we bring into our lives can significantly impact our well-being. By being mindful of the energy these objects carry, we can create a more positive and peaceful environment for ourselves. Whether it's repurposing old items, being cautious about found objects, or cleansing negative energy from our belongings, these practices help us maintain a balanced and happy life. Remember, the energy we allow into our lives shapes how we feel and how we navigate the world each day. If you've found these insights helpful, consider sharing them with friends and family. Spread the knowledge and help others create a space full of positivity and peace. And if you'd like to continue exploring more ideas like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our next inspiring video. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to sharing more with you in our next video.